One of the most common questions people ask after shoulder surgery sounds simple. How do I know what's safe today? At first, that question seems like it should have a simple answer. You received instructions. You have restrictions. You know there are things you should avoid. You know there are things you are supposed to be doing. So naturally, you assume that when a situation comes up in real life, the answer should be obvious. But this is where recovery becomes more complicated than most people expect. Because recovery does not happen on an instruction sheet. Recovery happens in your kitchen. It happens when you wake up stiff. It happens when you are getting dressed. It happens when you reach for something without thinking. It happens when you are trying to carry on with normal life while also protecting a healing shoulder. And that is where many people discover something uncomfortable. General advice is easy. Applying it is hard. Hey there, I'm Dr. Dan Orcutt, an orthopedic surgeon specializing in shoulders. And on this channel, I try to give you real answers to help you heal smarter, especially when recovery feels confusing, frustrating, or a little more mysterious than anyone warned you about. Now, this is where people lose progress, not usually because they are reckless, not usually because they are ignoring instructions, and not usually because they are doing something wildly dangerous. More often, they lose confidence because they do not know how to interpret what is happening. They feel soreness and wonder if it is normal. They feel stiffness and wonder if they are falling behind. They feel a sudden pull and wonder if they damage something. They have one better day and wonder if they are allowed to do more. That is exactly why I created the Shoulder Recovery Guide, not to replace your surgeon or your therapist, but to help you think more clearly during the hours when you are on your own. Its link is in the description below. The misconception I want to challenge today is the belief that standard recovery instructions will automatically guide you through every daily decision. That sounds reasonable. After all, if you were given the rules, shouldn't the rules tell you what to do? The problem is that life rarely presents itself exactly the way the instruction sheet describes it. The instructions may tell you not to lift something heavy, but what about carrying a light grocery bag? The instructions may tell you to avoid certain movements. But what about reaching into a cabinet without thinking? The instructions may tell you to be careful, but what exactly does careful mean when you are living a normal day? This is where many patients start to feel uncertainty, not because they are careless, not because they are ignoring medical advice, but because they are trying to apply general guidance to specific situations, and that is a very different skill. Over the past 20 years, I have treated thousands of shoulder patients, and this is a pattern I see over and over again. People do not usually make one dramatic mistake. They usually make dozens of small decisions, and those decisions happen at home. This is what I call the 166-hour void. Most recovery does not happen during appointments. If you see your therapist twice a week for an hour each time, and maybe your surgeon for a short visit every few weeks, that still leaves a large stretch of time when no one is watching recovery moment by moment. That is not meant to scare you. It is just the reality of recovery. Most of your healing decisions happen when you are not sitting in front of your surgeon and not standing next to your therapist. You are simply living your life. That is where recovery decisions occur, and that is where uncertainty begins. Imagine this situation. You wake up one morning. Your shoulder actually feels a little better. You are encouraged. You decide to do a little more around the house. Nothing major, just normal activities. A few hours later, the shoulder feels sore. Now what? Was that soreness expected? Did you overdo it? Should you back off tomorrow? Should you ignore it? Should you become concerned? The instructions may not answer that specific question. So the real question becomes this: do you avoid the activity completely? Do you do it anyway? Or do you modify how you approach it and watch the pattern? That is a decision, and it is a decision many people make repeatedly during recovery. Here's another example. You are getting dressed. You move the arm in a way that creates a sudden pull. Nothing dramatic, no fall, no heavy lifting, no major injury, just a sensation you were not expecting. Immediately, your brain starts working. Was that bad? Did I hurt something? Should I stop moving? Should I monitor it? Should I call someone? This is where I want to relieve a little tension. Most small aches, brief pulls, and short-lived increases in soreness are not automatically signs that you damage the repair. A shoulder can react without failing. A healing tissue can complain without tearing. A sore day does not always mean a ruined recovery. That matters because if every sensation feels like an emergency, recovery becomes mentally exhausting. Now, that does not mean you ignore everything. It does not mean you push through everything. And it definitely does not mean you decide, well, Dr. Dan said soreness is fine, so I'm going to rearrange the garage. Please do not make me responsible for your garage. What it means is that you need a better way to think through the situation. When something feels different, I want you to ask 3 questions. First, was there a clear injury event? Was there a fall? Was there a sudden force? Was there a major increase in pain right away? Was there something obvious that made you think that was not good? Second, is the symptom settling down or is it clearly getting worse? A shoulder that is a little sore after activity and then calms down is different from pain that keeps escalating, changes dramatically, or does not let up. Third, can you modify the activity and watch the pattern instead of immediately panicking or completely shutting everything down? That does not give you a perfect answer in every situation, but it gives you a starting framework. And a framework is better than guessing because without a framework, every new situation feels unique. Every symptom feels important. Every change feels urgent. Every sensation demands an answer. This is why many patients feel confused even when they are trying very hard to do everything correctly. No one is really guiding them through this part. Your surgeon and PT may be helping, but they are not with you for every daily decision. That is not a failure of the system. It is simply reality. The number of situations you encounter in a week is far greater than anyone can individually coach in real time. And because of that, many people begin guessing. They guess whether soreness matters. They guess whether stiffness matters. They guess whether they should do more. They guess whether they should do less. They guess whether improvement means freedom. They guess whether discomfort means danger. Eventually, those guesses begin shaping behavior, and that is where another problem starts. The compensatory cascade. This is one of the quieter risks in recovery. It does not begin with a major mistake, it begins with uncertainty. When people are unsure how to interpret a symptom, they often become protective. That sounds reasonable. Sometimes protection is appropriate. If your surgeon gave you restrictions, you follow them. If your therapist tells you to avoid something at this phase, you avoid it. If you have a sudden major change in pain or function, you take that seriously. But uncertainty-driven protection can slowly become overprotection. A person becomes cautious, then more cautious, then hesitant, then guarded. They stop trusting the shoulder. They stop trusting movement. They begin monitoring every sensation. Soon, the shoulder is not the only thing affected. The neck becomes tight. The upper back becomes uncomfortable. Posture changes, movement patterns change, confidence begins shrinking. Not because something catastrophic happened, but because uncertainty created compensation. And compensation created additional problems. This is why applying recovery principles matters so much. The problem is not effort. The problem is interpretation. Most patients are working hard. Most patients are motivated. Most patients genuinely want to do the right thing. What they lack is a repeatable way to evaluate situations. Most people do not have a consistent way to judge what this means or what to do next. That sentence may be the most important idea in this entire discussion. Because recovery success is often less about individual symptoms and more about how you respond to them. For example, imagine your shoulder feels stiffer than usual after a poor night's sleep. One reaction is to assume something is wrong. Another reaction is to stop using the arm completely. Another reaction is to panic and start searching online, which almost always ends with someone on a message board telling you their cousin's neighbor had a terrible outcome in 2009. Not helpful. A better response is to ask, is this stiffness connected to something obvious like sleep position? Is it improving as the day goes on? Does gentle movement within my allowed range help it settle? Is this a one-day change or is this becoming a pattern? That shift matters because many recovery decisions are not black and white. They live in the gray area between appointments. That is a very different mindset. Instead of immediately reacting, you are interpreting. Instead of assuming, you are evaluating. Instead of guessing, you are looking for context. And that gray area is where confidence is either built or slowly lost. This is also why generic advice sometimes creates confusion. Generic advice sounds clear. Take it easy, listen to your body, don't overdo it. Those phrases sound useful. But when you are standing in your kitchen deciding whether something is appropriate today, those phrases suddenly become much harder to apply. What does "don't overdo it" mean in this specific moment? What does "take it easy" mean for this activity? What does "listen to your body" actually tell you when your body is sending mixed signals? That is the real life application gap. You know the principle. You are unsure about the application. An application is where decisions happen. Most patients are not missing information. They are missing a way to use the information and still not know exactly how to apply those principles in the moment you are living. That is the system gap. You may know the rules. You may understand the restrictions. You may have attended every appointment. You may be following directions carefully. Without that framework, recovery becomes reactive. Something changes, you react. Something else changes, you react again. The process starts controlling you instead of the other way around. The goal is not perfect certainty. Perfect certainty does not exist in recovery. The goal is better interpretation. Can I do a little more today? Should I back off? Was that soreness meaningful? Is this stiffness expected? Should I modify this activity? Is this something I should ask my therapist about? Is this something I should call my surgeon about? The goal is understanding how to think through decisions when the answer is not obvious. Because the reality is that your recovery is going to present you with small decisions again and again. You do not need to panic over every question, but you also should not be left alone with no structure. That is where the shoulder recovery method comes in. It is a structured way to think through recovery decisions. Think of it as an insurance policy against the mistakes that happen when you are guessing between appointments. That is the gap, and that gap is where many patients lose confidence. Not because you are careless, not because you are lazy, not because you are failing, but because the normal medical system gives you instructions, appointments, and restrictions, while most of your real-life decisions happen in the hours between them. So if you're asking yourself, how do I know what is safe today? The answer is not simply more rules. The answer is learning how to interpret the situation in front of you. Did something clearly traumatic happen? Is the symptom improving or escalating? Can the activity be modified? Is this a single reaction or is it becoming a pattern? Those questions will not replace your surgeon. They will not replace your therapist, but they can help you stop treating every sensation like a crisis and start treating recovery like a process you can understand. And that is a major shift because recovery is not just about following instructions. It is about applying them. It is about knowing when to respect discomfort, when to modify activity, when to ask for help, and when to avoid turning every small sensation into a disaster story. If you want to understand why generic recovery advice can sometimes create bigger problems than expected, watch this video next. This common advice after shoulder surgery can wreck your repair. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next Thursday.